All right, in this video, I'm going to show you guys why tactics in chess isn't just important. It's pretty much like almost everything. And if you get really good at tactics, or very sharp in tactics, I should say, you're going to beat a lot of chess players, even advanced chess players, consistently. And that's how you move up in rating. You have to beat good players, and you have to do it consistently. So anyway, this game, I'll just show you from the top, from the beginning of the game. My opponent is playing a fianchetto structure on the king side. So what does that mean for us? Oh, I always play the same way, right? I always play the same way against certain positions. That way I have a system in place, and that's pretty much what you have to do. You have to develop at some point when you get, intermediate or advanced, let's say, you have to start developing systems of attack. There's many ways to skin a cat, so to speak, but you want to do the same thing over and over again. So you're going to have a leg up on your opponent if you get into certain positions, and you're going to have some familiarity. So I always, against the fianchetto structure, I shoot the H-pawn, I create a battery over here, and I castle the queen side. I castle the opposite way. So I get prepared to do that here. And now my opponent goes for my bishop, which is a good idea. So he wants to get rid of the bishop, obviously. The bishop pair is good. So I just move out of the way and preserve my bishop pair. And after this, I just come back to h5. And he is trying to trap my bishop and bring it back to g6, which is not so bad, really. But the thing is, and this is what you have to know in this position, is, well, there's two things going on. Now the knight is on the side of the board, and the knight has no escape square, so the knight can't go back anywhere. You could say, well, the knight can just grab the bishop, but you have to know in this position that the knight should not grab the bishop here, because that's opening up the h-file. It's opening up a lane of attack to your king. So you would just be losing here. You would have a really tough fight. The computer says, like, obviously you see the bar here, that it's only 0.6 or 0.76 it's saying, but it's actually more than that in realistic terms with two humans. You're going to win 80 to 90% of the time if you're in a similar rating range as somebody, just by playing a easier position like this. So my opponent was too good for that. He's a strong player. He doesn't do that. So he understands the strategy behind the position. However, I use that to my advantage. And since he's not going to take this bishop, he has to create an escape square for his knight at some point. And he doesn't do that, and I'll show you what happens. So I just play bishop d7. I'm just developing. I'm not banking on the fact that he's just going to give me a piece or anything. But so I just develop. But if he does, hey, I'll take it. And here's where my opponent made the big mistake. Now there's nothing guarding g5. The bishop was guarding g5 before. Now it's not. This looks like a solid move. It looks like a good idea. Again, my opponent's a very strong player. He's almost 1900, but he just missed a basic thing here. And now you don't ever want to, chess is like a tightrope. And the best players are really good at walking that tightrope. Now, my opponent's really good, and that's my point, is that he just missed a certain tactic here that you could miss. It's not super hard, to miss. Now, basically what I want to do here is take advantage of the fact that the knight has no escape squares. So I like to play g5. If I could play g5, I would be winning. However, the only problem is my bishop's in the way. So g5 is illegal because I can't jump over my bishop. So how do we get rid of our bishop in the quickest way possible? Well, there's only one move here. I'm sure you see the move now. So it's bishop takes on b8, on b1. And now after he takes back, he took with the rook. Now I just play g5, and I'm completely winning now because I'm winning the knight. There's nowhere for the knight to go. So I used his ideas against him because tactics always supersede strategy. So he comes over here. He just gives up the knight. I'm going to show you the rest of the game because there's more tactics that I use here to finish the game and make sure my opponent doesn't get back into the game, because especially when you're playing a strong player, they're going to try to mix things up on you guys, and they get you nervous and get you rattled and throw you off that tightrope, so to speak. And then all of a sudden they're back in the game and you threw away a game. So I'm going to show you how to consolidate here. I just grab a pawn. He goes for the push in the center. I take, and now his pawns are rolling. So I move out of the way, obviously. He starts pushing the pawns. I bring my knight to a central square, and now he's rolling the pawns. So he's preparing to roll this pawn now. So it looks pretty dangerous. I bring my knight forward. I always bring my knights forward if I can, if they're not going to get trapped. So I always look for escape squares if I have to escape, which I have. But here there's no pawns to kick me out or to challenge my knight anyway, so I'm good. He can only take with the bishop, and that's an even trade. So now he starts rolling the pawns forward. Again, I bring my knight forward into a post here. And now he goes bishop e4, which looks good. So his pawns are rolling, right? He could, knock my bishop around and start, pushing the pawns probably. He's got a tempo on my queen. My king's a little loose here. But right here, I just stuff everything with f5. Now, if the bishop moves away, he loses a tempo. And I can start, attacking like this. If he came back here, I would just take the bishop outright and get rid of that good bishop. So he plays the best move, which is en passant. The problem with en passant here is, even though it's the best move, is it broke up his central pawns. So now his pawns are no longer going to be rolling. All right, so I take back with the queen because my queen was attacked. And now after this, I just get out of the way. And after this move, notice how I don't go on the attack yet. I just get out of the way again because my knight is in line. His bishop's in line with my king. So I go to the corner. And now after this, I play h5. And now his queen is trapped. So good players do lose their pieces. Don't get in that psychological state that you're playing a high-rated player and they don't make mistakes and they have they're like godly over the chessboard. 1800s, 1900s, everyone's making mistakes. Trust me, you just have to spot them. You just have to build the pressure. And then after you build the pressure, your opponent's going to eventually make a mistake, and then you got to pounce on that mistake. So here he give up the queen. I'm still going to show you some more of this because there's actually some useful stuff here. I used a tactic here I took because I'm actually hitting the bishop, but now my opponent comes back. I attack the bishop again, and you'll think right here that, oh, my opponent is getting some material back because he's skewering my queen and rook. However, I hit him with another tactic. Try to spot this if you can. Pause your videos. I played bishop d6. Now, he can't take because it's illegal. However, you might be saying he's going to win my knight, and he's not going to win my knight. So he takes. I take back with the queen, with check. Very important. So now he can't take with the bishop because he has to get out of check. And if he takes with the king, he gets checkmated. So he has to move out of the way. I keep on rolling my pawns. He comes here. Again, I use another tactic. I surprise him with this move. The point of that is I get 2 rooks for the queen, and I'm simplifying. And now we got into, I'm in time trouble, so I cleaned up the game, but I have a much easier way to finish this game. It's actually mate in 3, and I didn't see it. And the move is just knight f4. And knight f4 brings up the impossible move to stop, which is whatever he plays. After whatever he plays, it's just g3, check, mate. Anyway, hopefully you guys found that video helpful. If you did, make sure you like and subscribe. And also, if you're interested in private, personal chess lessons, you can just use the link in the description below. Anyway, get out of here. Go play some chess.